Hi, good morning, everybody. Mr. Kennedy here. Today, we're going to be learning how to draw Pete the cat.
All right, my friends. So to get started with our Pete the cat, the first thing we're going to do towards the middle of our paper is let's make a small rainbow line. So it's a line that's curving up just a little bit. I'm also going to make two lines going, well, actually, let's make this a little bit longer. Now, what I want to do is I want to bring the sides of my Pete the cat down. So I'm going to the end of my rainbow lines, and I'm making a line that's going straight down. Now, what I want to do is I want to connect these 2 points, the ends of these 2 lines, by making a line that's going to come down diagonally, and it's going to meet right in the middle, like right here. So I want this line to come down, and I want this line to come down. All right, now we're almost there with Pete's head. Let's come over here. So right above this line that's going straight on the left side, so that's going straight up. Let's keep this line going straight up, and then we're gonna bring that line down into the side of Pete's head. This is going to be for his first ear. And then I'm just going to erase a little bit of this line, that rainbow line from the very beginning. But I didn't erase all of it. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, I'm going to bring that line, keep bringing that line straight up. And then I'm going to bring it down diagonally into the top of Pete's head. And again, I can erase a little bit of that line. All right, now let's draw Pete's eyes. Pete has very big eyes. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a rainbow line that's very similar to this one. That it doesn't curve a lot, it's a little curve. So I'm gonna draw one on the left side, and I'm gonna draw one on the right side. And you'll notice they're very large lines. They're almost taking up almost all of Pete's head. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a little smile line underneath these 2 lines we just drew to connect the end on this side to this side, and same here to here. And I'll do one more. All right. Next, let's draw 2 half circles inside of his eye shapes. To do that, right along the top of the top line we drew, I'm going to draw a little smile line, and then a little one inside of it. And eventually, I'll color this middle one in black. Now, let's do the same thing on the other side for this eye. So again, I'm going to start with a little half circle, and a smaller one inside of it. All right, now right in the middle between these 2 eyes, but underneath them, we're going to draw an upside down triangle. And this is going to be for Pete's nose. All right, next, let's give Pete some whiskers. So I'm going to give him 4 whiskers on each side. So I'm going to come right over here, right about where I have this little corner on Pete's head. And right inside of that corner, I'm going to make 4 lines that are going to curve out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. And Pete doesn't really have a mouth, so that's all we're going to really do now for Pete's head. Now let's draw his body, and we're going to put his body in that cool yellow coat with his 4 groovy buttons. So to start that, let's draw 2 lines coming out of the bottom of Pete's head. So I'm going to draw one to the left of that little point and one to the right. I'm going to bring these lines down just a little bit. I'm going to stop him right there. Because right there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, now not at the end of this line, but up a little bit. So I'll make a little mark right here. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. What we're going to do with this line is we're going to start Pete's collar for his jacket. So from the end of this line, I'm going to make one that goes down diagonally, just like that. I'm going to make a letter C shape. And then I'm going to take the end of that letter C and I'm going to curve it back up into where we started this collar. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So this time this line is going down in the opposite direction. We're going to draw a backwards letter C. And again, let's take the end of this line and curve it back up to where we started it. All right. Next, let's make two little lines. So we're going to come to the top of these letter C shapes we made. And we're going to make a line that's going to come down diagonally. And we want them to meet. So they should kind of make like a little V shape right there. And right at the bottom of that V, we're going to make a little circle for Pete's first button. And we'll do this for all of his buttons, but there's a little detail. He has 4 little dots for the stitching in his button. You know what? I'm actually going to make that button a little bit bigger. It's a little too small, I think. That's better. And don't worry if they're not perfect circles for your buttons. If they're a little bit off, that's probably better and it'll look more realistic. All right, let's come back up to his collar. So now right along this curved line we made to finish his collar, we're going to make a line that's going to come straight down. And let's make one on the other side too. All right. Now, the next thing we want to do is let's finish up his buttons. So underneath this first button, I'm going to do a little line, and then I'm going to make another button. And again, Pete has 4 buttons, so I have 2 now. I have to do another one, so let's do another line, a third button, another little line, and a 4th button. And again, in each of those little button shapes, I want 4 little dots. All right. Next, let's keep going. So now what we're going to do is right next to this line for the side of Pete's coat, we're going to make another line. And this one's going to go down at an angle. It's going to come kind of close to the end of Pete's coat. Let's bring this down just a little bit further. So you'll notice it's going past my bottom button. I'm going to make a little oval shape going across those 2 lines. And this will be for the cuff on Pete's sleeve. Now, right underneath this bottom button, let's make like the top of a triangle. So it's like an upside down letter V. Now I'm going to take the end of this line and I'm going to curve it right into the side of Pete's arm. So these 2 lines coming down on the side are going to form Pete's arm. All right, now let's give him his paws. So coming out of the bottom of each of these cuffs, I'm going to make a little line that's going to come down. I'm going to loop it around and bring it back up. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. So again, I'm going straight down on the side that's closest to the inside of his body. Let's bring it straight out, loop it around, and curve it back up into his shoe, or into his collar or his sleeve. All right, we're almost there. Well, next thing, let's make a little curve line. They'll go from the top of his paws, one side to the other. And this is just showing the bottom of Pete the cat. Last, let's give him a tail. So you can either go to the left or the right. I'm gonna go to the right. So right above the cuff on his sleeve, I'm gonna make a line that's gonna curve out, and I'm gonna wrap mine around like a little circle. I'm gonna give a little U shape to the end of that line, and then I'm just gonna follow it back around and bring it right back into the side of Pete's arm. And like that, we have our basic Pete the cat. Now we're ready to color and trace. If you want, you can pause the video here at home to match the same colors, but you do not have to.
I hope you guys all had fun drawing Pete the cat with me today. I hope you guys stay safe, you keep drawing, and I'll see you next time.